Hi guys, every woman you have ever wanted already chose. Before you said a word, before you smiled, before you even looked at her, her body made the decision first, and you were too busy trying to impress her to even notice. This video will change that. I'm going to show you the exact signals her body gives off the moment she feels your presence. And if you want to master how to trigger those reactions on command, Attraction Secrets teaches you how to build the kind of presence that makes it automatic. The link is in the description. Women do not fall for words, they fall for your presence. And what's wild is you don't even have to speak for her to feel it, because attraction does not start in her mind, it starts in her nervous system. Her body picks up on subtle clues, posture, movement, stillness, tension, and filters you as safe, attractive, or forgettable. So if you're tired of feeling like you're overlooked and ready to finally read her signals, this is the video you've been missing. So let's get into it. Number 1, she breaks her focus the second you walk in. Here's what you need to understand. The human brain is designed to ignore 99% of the environment. It only locks onto what it perceives as important. So when a woman is mid-conversation or locked into her phone and you walk by and suddenly her eyes shift towards yours, or her head turns, or maybe like her voice starts trailing off, that's her reticular activating system snapping into focus. The reticular activating system, also called the RAS, is the part of the brain responsible for filtering out irrelevant information and locking in on what feels significant. It's the reason you could be in a crowded room and still instantly notice when someone calls your name, or when something unfamiliar enters into your space. The RAS is not logical, it's instinctual. It's always scanning for changes in the environment that could impact survival, safety, or even status. Her brain didn't process you as just another guy. It processed you as a change in the environment, a disruption. That happens because you carry different energy. Most men are naturally noisy, posture is poor, scattered, but when a man walks in with calmness, grounded body language, and stable movement, he shifts the emotional tone of the entire space. Women are tuned into that shift at an unconscious level. They don't think, who is that? They feel something change, and their biology makes them look. It's fast, subtle, reflective, but that reaction, it means you already stood out before speaking. A real-world example of this is when you walk into a lounge or a coffee shop and there's a group of women mid-conversation. One of them suddenly pauses, glances up mid-laugh, and quickly looks down at her drink. You didn't speak, you didn't do anything, but she felt something shift, and her nervous system forced her to react. Number 2, she touches her face, neck, or hair suddenly. Here's what's actually happening. When a woman experiences a sudden emotional spike, which it could be anxiety, curiosity, sexual intrigue, her nervous system gets slightly dysregulated. So she self-soothes. She touches her face, brushes her hair, touches her neck, which, by the way, is an area rich in nerve endings and emotional signaling. These aren't meaningless movements, they're pacifying gestures. These are actions her body does instinctively to help her maintain and manage the energy surge she's feeling. It's basically her body's way of calming itself down. It's automatic. Her nervous system feels your presence before her mind understands why. So to deal with that rush of energy, her body does something small and familiar, like touching her hair or neck to stay in control. It's not planned, it's instinctual. But why does this happen around certain men? Because women don't consciously choose who they're attracted to. Their limbic system, which is the emotional center of the brain, responds to male presence before logic even gets a chance to step in. If you walk by and she starts fixing things that don't need fixing, or touches sensitive areas like the side of her neck or chest, her nervous system just gave her away, and she has no idea she did it. You've probably seen this at like a bookstore, an airport, or a mall. You walk past a woman, and right as you're near her, she starts playing with her hair or adjusting her necklace. She wasn't fixing anything. Her body was regulating the spike your presence caused. Number 3, she looks once and then looks again, faster than she meant to. The first glance is instinctual. The second one, that's where psychology kicks in. Women scan their environments constantly. It's hardwired from evolution for us to do so. Thousands of years ago, a woman's safety often depended on her ability to spot strength, stability, or even a threat before interaction. So when she sees you and feels something different, her brain stores it and then quickly double checks. This is known as a reconsolidation loop. Her brain is running the signal again. Did I see what I thought I saw? Why did I feel that? It's the brain doing a fast replay. The first glance was her body reacting. The second one is her brain trying to confirm what just happened. It's like her nervous system said, pay attention. Now her mind is double checking the file. She's not thinking, she's tracking, and it happens within seconds. This isn't about look, it's about the energy behind your movements. When you carry confident awareness, eye contact that doesn't chase, and a walk that doesn't rush, you signal polarity. Her second glance is her body's way of confirming this one's different. If you catch it, hold neutral eye contact without flinching or reacting, you just caught her on a nonverbal level. Picture you're standing in line at a cafe and you feel eyes on you. A woman 2 tables over glances your way, then quickly looks away. 5 seconds later, she she does it again, this time while pretending to sip her drink. That second glance is not random. That's her brain validating what her body has just reacted to. Number 4, she adjusts her clothes or posture instantly. She was relaxed. Now she's suddenly adjusting her top, pulling down her sleeves, sitting straighter. What's really happening here? Her body is reacting to perceived pressure. When a man with presence enters her space, her subconscious picks up on it and instantly says, be seen at your best. It's not about being insecure, it's about being aware. Her nervous system sees you as someone worth presenting well for, without her thinking it through. It's a built-in instinct to raise her value in the presence of a man who has status. She's regulating appearance in response to perceived male attention. This is called impression management, and it's a primitive reaction rooted in sexual selection. Back in tribal days, attention from the wrong man could mean danger, but attention from the right man meant protection, access, and status. So women evolve behaviors to subtly increase perceived female value the moment a high-status male entered the picture. She adjusts her clothes not because she needs to, but because her subconscious says, I need to look my best right now. Even if she doesn't want to like you, her body already decided to prepare for it. Imagine this. You're walking through the mall or into a waiting room, and a woman who looked totally relaxed suddenly adjusts her top and sits up straighter. You didn't speak, but the second your energy hit her radar, her body started optimizing presentation without her even realizing it. Number 5, she gets more animated, louder, or expressive, but not towards you. This is so commonly missed, it's insane. Women usually escalate their expression to signal attraction without facing the man directly. Why? Because it gives her visibility without vulnerability. That means she can attract your attention without putting herself in a position to be rejected. It's low risk, high reward. If you don't notice, no harm done. But if you do, now the interaction starts on her terms. This behavior, once again, is rooted in biology. For thousands of years, being too forward with the wrong man could mean social risk or even worse. So women developed a strategy. Make yourself seen, but never look like you're trying. That way, interest can be shown without pride being put on the line. Her voice goes up slightly. Her laughter becomes a little bit more exaggerated. Her hand gestures become a little bit more open. This is what behavioral psychologists call indirect signaling, and it's one of the most ancient female strategies for drawing attention without risking ego loss. You weren't in her conversation before, but now that you're nearby, she wants to be noticed without looking obvious. If you see this shift, wait. Don't chase. Let her feel the tension of being observed but not rewarded. That is what makes your presence addictive. This happens all the time at parties, bars, and even grocery stores. You enter the aisle or the room and suddenly the girl nearby starts laughing louder than she was 5 seconds ago. She tosses her head back, exaggerates her movements without directly looking in your direction. She's not trying to be funny, she's trying to be noticed without looking like she's trying to be noticed. Number 6, she changes her location to stay in your vicinity. She was across the room, now she's nearby. Not with you, but near enough to be noticed. This is proximity priming. It's her attempt to enter your awareness zone without direct contact and is biologically strategic. Why does she do this? Because proximity is a passive way to initiate without risking a direct move. Her being nearby makes it easier for something to just happen. Psychologically, this is called environmental availability. It's her way of signaling, I'm here if you want to engage, without having to admit that she wants it. It also allows her to read your energy up close, sense if you're receptive, and give herself an excuse to react to whatever you do next. Women do this because they're trained to avoid direct rejection, but being in your field of view allows her to stay visible without looking desperate. It also opens a window for you to lead. She's essentially saying, I'm here. If you're aware enough, you have the green light. Most men don't see it, but the ones that do, they win without chasing. So what does this look like? Let's say you're at a gym, a coffee shop, or some type of networking event. A woman you noticed earlier just happens to be using the machine next to you, or standing near the water dispenser, or looking at the same product on the shelf. So a little bit of time passes, and you move to a different area. And you look up, and you see her again. She's not lost, she's not random. She's placed herself in your vicinity, and she's waiting to see if you're sharp enough to pick up on the signal. She's begging you to say something to her. Number 7, her friends react before she does. This is the most loudest silent signal in the room. You walk past a group. One friend whispers, another one nudges. She blushes and looks away. Boom. You've already been seen, validated, and approved, all within a couple seconds. This happens because women are socially wired to gauge attraction through group feedback. It's part of what's called social proof, except in her world, it's happening in real time. Her friends are reading her body language and reacting faster than she is. If she blushes or goes quiet, it's not embarrassment, it's exposure. They just noticed her response to you, and now she's trying to keep her cool. Here's why this matters. Women are tribal. Attraction is often co-regulated through social validation. If her friends approve of you, she's more more likely to follow that instinct as well. So when the group responds and she doesn't look at you again, that's not disinterest. That's basically like social embarrassment because they called her out. You're already in her mind and now you're in their conversation. You might see this happen at bars, birthday dinners, lounges. You walk past a table of girls and notice two of them glance at you. One says something under her breath, another nudges the girl next to her and they giggle. The girl you weren't even looking at starts acting like she's focused on her drink. She's not. Her friends just exposed her and now she's pretending she didn't notice you, but she already did. Every one of these signs means one thing. You already took over her nervous system before you even spoke. You didn't need to be loud. You didn't need to flex. You didn't need a pickup line because your presence, not your mouth, did the talking. Most men never learn this. They miss signs constantly and then they wonder why the women they want always seem uninterested. The truth is, a lot of them were interested. They were just waiting for you to understand how attraction really works. If you want to become the man who women feel the moment you walk in, the man whose presence does what most guys try to do with words, my book Attraction Secrets will train that into your nervous system. This isn't about pretending to be confident. It's about becoming the one she senses first and remembers after. The link is in the description. So with that being said, until the next video, I'll see you guys later. Bye.